Education doesn't equal success, and deep down, you already know it. From the time we're children, we're told the same thing: study hard, get good grades, go to college, get a degree, and success will follow. But if that formula were true, every person with a degree would be successful, and every person without one would struggle. Yet that's clearly not how the world works. Think about it. How many people do you know who graduated from university and are still living paycheck to paycheck? Now think about how many business owners, salespeople, entrepreneurs, tradesmen, content creators, and investors earn more than people with multiple degrees. This isn't an attack on education. It's an attack on a dangerous assumption. The assumption that education automatically creates success. It doesn't. Education gives you knowledge. Success requires something more. Action. Consider two people. The first spends 10 years collecting degrees. The second spends 10 years building skills, making mistakes, learning from experience, and creating value. Who do you think will be ahead financially? The answer isn't always obvious because the world doesn't pay people for what they know. It pays people for the value they create. A university professor may know everything about business. An entrepreneur may know far less. Yet the entrepreneur often earns more. Why? Because knowledge and execution are not the same thing. Look at the job market. Every year, millions of graduates enter the workforce. Most of them have similar qualifications. The degree gets them into the race. It doesn't guarantee they win it. Then there are people who never finished college, people who learned sales, people who mastered communication, people who became exceptional at solving problems, people who took risks, people who built businesses, people who learned skills that the market values. Many of them become incredibly successful, not because they avoided education, but because they understood something important. The marketplace rewards results, not effort, not intentions, not certificates, results. And perhaps the biggest trap of all is something called productive procrastination. Instead of starting a business, someone takes another course. Instead of applying for jobs, someone earns another certificate. Instead of building a portfolio, someone watches another tutorial. They convince themselves they're making progress, but they're really hiding from action. Learning feels safe, action feels risky. That's why so many people stay students forever. Success comes from a combination of learning and doing, not one without the other. The doctor needs education. The engineer needs education. The lawyer needs education. But even in those professions, the most successful people aren't always the smartest. They're often the ones who communicate better, lead better, adapt faster, and take more initiative. Education opens doors, but it cannot walk through those doors for you. The uncomfortable truth is that many people spend years preparing for a life they never actually start. So here's the question. Are you learning to grow, or are you learning to avoid taking the next step? Because the people who change their lives are rarely the ones who know the most. They're usually the ones who act on what they know.